Welcome to the next video in this series where I show you the most efficient ways to perform any exercise so you can maximize your time in the gym. If I had a donut for every Marine that came into our physical therapy clinic that got injured deadlifting, I'd have enough donuts to feed a village for 3 weeks and myself for 3 days. But in any case, deadlift technique and programming are keys to prevent back pain, and I'll show you the fundamentals to deadlift pain-free for the rest of your life. Let's start with the setup. You want the bar to be right over your feet, about an inch or so away from your shins. Keeping the barbell close to your body like this decreases the lever arm for your low back. Think about it this way. If this barbell had your PR weight on it, would it be easier to lift it from closer or further away from you? Obviously closer to you. Can you imagine trying to deadlift all that weight from that long distance? That would feel crazy on your low back. For your head and neck placement, fix your gaze on something in front of you that is head level. Get a good feel for how your head and neck are positioned in relation to your torso, because you want to maintain this relative position throughout the entire movement. So that means when your body leans forward to pick up the barbell, your head and neck position shouldn't change relative to your body, although your gaze will go down, looking something like this. Now some may argue that you want to keep your head up and your gaze fixed on something slightly above head level. Since your torso follows your gaze, this could help extend through the movement. That's all fine if you want to try this out. Feel free to do what works best for you, as I don't believe this makes a huge difference in how much you can deadlift. You want to grab the barbell about shoulder width apart. There are a couple different ways to grip it, and positives and negatives to all of them. I find using an overhand grip for my warm-up sets and lifting straps for my working sets to be the best all around. So that way my grip still gets challenged and stays strong, but it isn't limiting me on how much I can deadlift. If you grip the barbell any wider, your upper traps and back will have to activate more to maintain your upright position, decreasing the demand on your glutes and hamstrings. Any narrower and your arms will get in the way when trying to perform the exercise. For the most part, you want to keep a neutral low back position throughout the entire exercise. Now, does that mean you can't round your low back at all when bending forward to pick something up? Of course not. If you're picking up something light, like a pen, shoe, etc., your low back muscles are well able to handle these light loads. Contrast that with picking up a heavier object that your low back isn't used to and, well, it's probably not going to feel the best. Rounding your low back places more load on it, which isn't necessarily bad, but since it's not used to this, it will definitely let you know. With that in mind, wearing a lifting belt when picking up heavier loads will help your low back tolerate the exercise better and could prevent low back pain. I'll go over the Valsalva maneuver and how you can best apply this to the deadlift during the execution part of the video. For the conventional deadlift, having your stance a little wider than hip width is ideal, again with your hands just outside your knees. If you want me to go over the sumo deadlift, which involves a wider stance, let me know in the comments below, as a conventional deadlift can feel weird for some people, depending on your anatomy and your structure. Just like with squats, you want to make sure your knees stay in line with your third and fourth toes throughout the movement. For the most part, your feet should be pointed straight. You can have your toes pointed out slightly if this feels better for you. Again, everybody will be different. After grabbing the barbell or wrapping the wrist straps around, your body will be in this hunch over position. From here, lift your chest up, sink your butt down, and try to get that neutral curve and then low back again. From here, take a deep breath in through your nose, expanding your stomach out forward to the sides and back as you do so. It doesn't look super cool because your gut is sticking out, but this fills your diaphragm up with air on all sides, forward and backward, and this air pressure helps keep the low back nice and solid. Think of it like blowing up a balloon. The balloon doesn't have any air in it, it's flimsy and doesn't have much stability. Compare that to a blown up balloon, which has a lot of air pressure in it and is more solid and stable. You're going to hold this breath throughout each rep, exhaling when you complete the rep, and repeating it until you're done with the set. And only use this technique if you don't have any blood pressure, heart issues, or are prone to pass out. Before you lift the barbell off the ground, think about packing your lats, or in simpler terms, try to de-shrug. This activates your lats, which help keep your upper body stable throughout the movement. The last thing you'll do is pull up on the bar so that the slack in the bar is taut. The bar shouldn't come off the ground yet, we should feel the give in it get tight. From here, I want you to think about 3 things. 1, keeping your body in this relative position, so your head shouldn't move, your low back shouldn't move, nothing else should move besides your legs. 2, instead of thinking, I'm going to lift this bar off the ground, think about having a medicine ball on the ground and thinking, I'm going to chuck this thing behind me as powerfully as I can, and pushing the ground away from you. Along with that, 3, stop the movement once your body is straight up to standing. Some people hyperextend at the top of the movement, but if you think about it, there's no benefit going beyond standing up straight. If you hyperextend, you've gone past the point where there's any resistance to your glutes and hamstrings. Not only that, your muscles are more shortened instead of more stretched, which we know the stretch part of an exercise is the most important for hypertrophy and, to a degree, your strength. Hyperextending at the top won't make any positive difference either way and will probably result in some back pain. It's just not worth it. Since there are a lot of things that can go wrong with the deadlift and a lot to coordinate, I usually don't program deadlifts for more than 5 or 6 reps, doing at least 3 reps minimum. Deadlifts are also pretty fatiguing, and if you have more exercises to do that day, it can take away from the rest of your workout. With that in mind, you probably shouldn't do deadlifts a day after doing heavy rows that aren't supported. Think bent over barbell rows, seated rows, etc. These tend to fatigue out the low back, and doing them the day before heavier deadlifts probably isn't the best. If you have any questions about the deadlift, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. Click like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.